We've all sustained some type of injury in our lives, some that aren't funny, some that are hysterical. And I threw out the question, what is your most embarrassing injury? This was a private DM that I got. I don't want this publicly noted, but about 2 years ago, I woke up very early to cook roast lamb and pork for Christmas lunch. I went back to bed and set an alarm for 5:30 a.m. to check the cooking. I was completely naked and everyone was asleep. So I opened the oven. I opened the oven door. Leaned in and my nipples touched the roast. I burnt them and they sizzled so much. I had white burn marks on my nipples for 2 days until they scabbed over. Oh my God. How did you wear a bra or a top? I mean, that's a great way to check if the roast is done. Ow, ow, ow. It's cooked, guys. It's cooked. Left nipple burnt. Dinner's ready. My ex parked my side of the car really close to a hedge on a weekend away a few years ago. It was a tight squeeze, but I managed to get out of the car. Oh my God. Then I proceeded to shut my own head in the door. How? I bruised my cheekbone badly. This was outside a bottle shop and I hadn't even started drinking. I knocked myself out cold, requiring an ambulance on a kid's playground at primary school. Oh, Mum's knocked herself out again. I once had a smoke at school, got a head rush, tripped over a chain fence and almost dislocated my hip doing the full splits. I am in no way athletic, so this was quite the feat. I pulled every muscle, including my butt, in my left leg. The doctor said 1 more inch of the splits and I would have needed surgery. I once pressed the button on my umbrella. That is a great way to start a sentence about injuries. I once pressed the button on my umbrella and it shot into my face and split my lip open. I was bleeding everywhere. This is not really an injury, but I'm severely allergic to peanuts and had someone go down there after eating a picnic without me knowing. I had to ring the ambulance as I went into an anaphylactic shock and it puffed up to the size of a small watermelon. Oh, so when you're allergic to something, it doesn't matter where it touches you. I'm just picturing the poor person being like, I'll show you what I can do. And then having their entire head just enveloped by this woman's vagina. Oh, what's happening? I must be really good at this. She's screaming so loud. I had a funny gut at work, so privately went to the toilet. Times like this, you don't really want your colleagues knowing what you're doing. The smell was a little off, but thankfully we had a new, never before used air freshener in the toilet. I gave it a good spray, then a little more, and I didn't want my colleagues smelling my business, so I gave it like a really good spray. I'm one of those people that does secret poos. No one would ever know. No one would ever know. As I finished, I stood up to pull my tights up and put the lid down and flush, as you do. But because of the air freshener, a thick layer of vanilla-scented slippery film, oh my God, was all over the floor. I slipped and fell and I whacked my head on the toilet bowl. Oh, you poor thing. I knocked the toilet paper off the holder and gave the door a big kick. I was pretty confident at this stage. I was still maintaining my status of secret pooper, even though I had made the most ungodly noises. As I stepped back into the office, about 50 people looked at me like meerkats peeping over their partitions. The whole office floor heard. Not just my team, all the people in the offices on the other side of the building. The whole department, everyone. I was so embarrassed. I had actually banged myself up pretty bad and ended up in emergency. I should mention she worked in the OHS department. My cousin was a radiologist training in emergency at a major hospital in the 70s. A male casualty came in with a broken leg. He was wearing tight leather pants. It was apparent they were going to have to cut his leather pants off to x-ray him. He was beside himself and refused to have his pants cut. The medical staff patiently explained there was no other way. He had a bad break and they had to treat him. Oh my God. When they cut his pants off, they discovered he had stuffed huge salami down his pants to impress people at the disco. Well, at least he had a snack while he was waiting. When I strained my shoulder and the chiropractor said it was an injury that only wrestlers get, he asked, "How did you get this?" I had actually got stuck in a shirt in the Target change rooms. Is that not the most relatable thing? Oh, I pulled my shoulder out because I thought I was a size medium, but I'm actually a 3XL. You know, I was going to force that top on. Lockdown has not been kind. I was in a kids' indoor play barn. No adults were supposed to be on it. And I got myself in a sack and raced the kids down the slide. Not only did my fat ass get stuck, but 1 inch from the bottom, I tripped over and broke my ankle. They sent an air ambulance because of the rural location. I have a photo of me with a blanket over my head being taken out because I was so mortified. She strapped in like a crazy person. Click here to watch more videos. Click here to subscribe. Oh, this really hurts my knees.